A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to IEPFA-NCAER Investor Education and Protection Conference, organized in collaboration with Pondicherry University. Today's theme, Criticality of Digital Financial Literacy and Behavioral Skills, Key Enablers of Investor Education and Protection. I am honored to extend a warm welcome to each one of you. This conference stands as a commitment in safeguarding investors' interest and promoting financial awareness in an evolving financial landscape. Today's conference is a collaboration between NCAER, IEPFA under the aegis of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India and Pondicherry University to address the importance of financial literacy and investor protection. Today's session brings the financial experts to you, and there will be huge learning opportunities for each one of us. With investors' interest being its primary concern and the vision of taking investor awareness to the last mile, Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority is entrusted with the responsibility of administration of IEPF, making refunds of shares, unclaimed dividends, mature deposits, debentures, etc. to investors and to promote awareness among investors. National Council of Applied Economic Research, established in 1956, is India's oldest and largest independent non-profit economic policy research institute. IPF Chair Unit at NCAER aims to promote investor awareness and financial literacy through research and various outreach programs like conference, seminars, workshops throughout India. Pondicherry University is a central university established under the Act of Parliament in October 1985. It is an affiliating university with jurisdiction across the Union Territory of Puducherry, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The university's motto stands towards the light. The main campus is located at Kalpad, where we are today. Light is considered as a symbol of auspiciousness, prosperity and abundance. Before we embark on this insightful journey, let's kindle the light of knowledge with our lamp lighting ceremony. Join me in welcoming Professor A. Balakrishnan for the welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. I am deeply elated and honored in welcoming the gathering. It's very pleasant to see the stage which is embellished with the presence of high-profile eminent personalities who are here to share and sensitize their expertise with the young minds. On this great occasion, I have been tasked with the delivering of welcome address for this workshop titled Criticality of Digital Financial Literacy and Behavioral Skills, Enablers and Investors' Education and Protection, which is jointly organized by Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority and the National Council of Applied Economic Research and Pondicherry University. At the outset, I would like to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Prakash Babu, whose dynamic leadership has been taking Pondicherry University to a greater height, be it NAC A+ re-accreditation or opening up of International Convention Center or conduct of long pending convocation. Like that, there are several fronts in which Sir is achieving so many things in this university. Moreover, Sir is a very humble person and he is highly result oriented. He always speaks his mind and refuses to compromise. Such a wonderful person is amongst us. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my warm welcome to you, sir. Welcome, sir. Next, I would like to welcome the keynote speaker, Madam Anita Shah Akela, joining online, CEO, IEPFA and Joint Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. Welcome you, Madam. Next, I would like to express my warm welcome to Dr. C.S. Mahapatra, IEPF Chair Professor, NCAER Moderator, also a speaker. I welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to express my hearty welcome to Professor P. Nadarajan, Director, Culture, Pondicherry University, also Dean School of Management, Pondicherry University. Sir is going to play a multiple role in this workshop, like delivering a special address and also being one of the panelists to discuss the nitty-gritty of the topic. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to express my hearty welcome to Professor Y. Venkat Rao, Dean Students Welfare, Pondicherry University. Professor Rao is a mild-mannered person and he speaks less and achieves more. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to express my warm welcome to Ms. Dipanita Ghosh, Senior Research Analyst, IEPF Chair Unit, NCAER. Madam has been constantly in touch with us regarding this event. Welcome you, Madam. Next, I would like to express my hearty welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Sri Aditya Sinha, joining online, General Manager, IEPFA. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to express my hearty welcome to Dr. Tirthankar Patnaik, Chief Economist, NSC India Limited. Dr. Patnaik has been associated with Pondicherry University for a long time. I welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome Professor Amaresh Samantaria, Professor of Economics, Pondicherry University, a renowned economist, a former research officer at RBI, a well-known researcher, and he has held so many key administrative positions at Pondicherry University as well as outside. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome the heads of the departments, former registrar, present controller of examinations, faculty members, heads of the departments, staff, PhD scholars, and students for this wonderful event. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Let us now welcome Professor Y. Venkata Rao, Dean Students Welfare, to tell us few lines about the scope of the conference. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. So, good afternoon to one and all. So, on stage, dignitaries, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Prakash Babu, and the instrumental in this half-day conference, Dr. Mahapatra, Chair Professor, our Dean School of Management and Director of Culture and Cultural Relations, Natarajan sir, and then Professor Balakrishnan, Head of the Department Banking Technology and Coordinator from the side of School of Management for this workshop, and to my right side, so Dipanita, who is there continuously keeping in touch with us in organizing this event from the ministry side. And of the dais, we have the deans, head of departments, and professors from our university campus, and students, especially from the School of Management and other departments on campus. And my dear friends, so this particular the conference, the idea we got some time back, in between elections were there, so due to election code we could not make it in the end of last academic year, and as soon as we reopened in the new academic year, so we thought we can organize this conference for the benefit of all stakeholders of our university. By looking at the title, we can understand how it is very important. Other day when we had an interaction with our Honorable Vice Chancellor between Dr. Mahapatra and Sir, after listening few minutes, our Honorable Vice Chancellor said that this topic is not only for students and equally important for faculty and non-teaching employees. And with permission, I am just quoting again Dr. Mahapatra's statement he made. So most of the women employees are women at home. Their financial literacy is very, very less when we compare with the counterparts. Now we could see the women in all sectors, in all segments of our society, they are competing, and they are, in many aspects, they are ahead to their counterparts. But still, financial literacy is not up to the mark. This is one aspect. The other dimension is, in the digital era, we are in every moment transacting our financial transactions in this digital format. So there is a lot of technology went into this financial system. But how? Because you can see that every day at least 1 or 2 calls comes, spam calls. You can see that someone is calling and asking, so do you need any loan, and you have a very good track record of using your credit card, or so and so on. So you can see that how the financial institutions are very aggressive in selling their products. But to what extent, as the customers, we have awareness about all these financial transactions. So in this backdrop, so we have very eminent speakers from ministry and then from our university within our campus. When you look at the speakers from ministry, we have excellent speakers starting from Miss Anita. Then you can see you can see the Patnaik sir. Then you also can find the Colonel Aditya. So they are all from ministry side, besides Mahapatra sir. And internally, when Mahapatra sir was asking, can we include some resource persons from inside, then immediately I got the name Professor Amaresh. So then immediately I just contacted, and then he readily accepted to speak on this topic, since his area also is very much related to this. And besides that, even our the dean himself is again specialized in this area. So then with all these internal resource persons and then ministry, the speakers, I hope that this half-day conference is going to be very beneficial for all of us. And here we don't want to see that whether you're a student or a faculty or somebody, then the stuff is very much related and then important for all of us. And I hope that you will have a great time in this afternoon. And I wish all the best. And with that, I thank once again our Dr. Mahapatra sir for making it happen. So for the benefit of all of us. Thank you very much.
I'll now welcome Professor P. Natarajan, Dean School of Management, for the special address.
Good evening to all. The most respected and Honorable Vice Chancellor of our great institution, Professor Prakash Babuji, and the hero of this conference, Dr. C.S. Mahapatra, and the coordinator, Dr. Venkatrao, who has initiated the last 10 days and worked on that and created this big crowd in this auditorium to discuss about a very vital topic, investors' behavior. And my dear friend, Dr. Balakrishnan, Head, Department of Banking Technology, good afternoon to one and all. Apart from that, a lot of dignitaries have come on the basis of our request and invitation, especially Controller of Examination, Professors and Head of the Department of School of Management and other departments, faculty friends, research scholars and students. Really, it gives me an immense pleasure to see the hall is full. It is because there is a person sitting here called Mahapatra. Just a minute back I searched Mahapatra. Maha means great. Patra means a vessel. Great vessel is sitting here, so we can get. Here in Tamil language we used to call Achaya Patra, no? Like that here, Mahapatra is here. Thus I had an interaction on the day. We may be able to dig out. The vessel will not be empty. we can dig out as much as we can. So immediately I have made a mindset that yes, Mahapatra will be the resource person at least 2-3 events in our university in the months to come, definitely. And we can arrange one big program in the International Convention Center also with the permission of our Honorable Vice Chancellor. To that extent, his information, knowledge and exposure should carry forward to or should be taken up by the present generation. So then only the knowledge transfer will take place in the right form, in the right manner, at the right time. So from that perspective, definitely we can make use of the guest, Dr. C.S. Mahapatra, the IEF Chair Professor and the National Council of Applied Economic Research. And again, these institutions are also, they are very much aligned to the School of Management, especially Department of Commerce, Department of Economics and Management Studies, everyone. We are doing a lot of work in the area of finance and finance-related aspects. Not necessarily corporate finance, development finance, behavioral finance, on very many dimensions of finance we are working. So it is the potential area to have a kind of high-level deliberations on the contemporary issues. So from that perspective, this one-day conference, this half-day conference is really remarkable, and it will be adding feathers to School of Management especially, and as well as Pondicherry University to create giant personalities here. To share their insights, greater insights out of a lot of experience and exposure. He is again a global man. He roam around very many countries and have deep knowledge in the field of finance. Basically, he is an economist, but he has a sound exposure in all areas of finance. And he has served as a regulator, he has served as a functionalist, and he has served as a researcher. So in very many capacities, he is a fitting resource person sitting here. And the theme of the conference, Criticality of Digital Financial Literacy and Behavioural Skills, Key Enablers of Investors' Education and Protection. So this is very much essential in the present day context, and I said it is a contemporary race in nature because there are two big transformations taking place, even in the field of finance as well as in the technology era also. So technological developments are rapidly going on, and we are getting the outdated of technology on daily basis or monthly basis. So in that way, definitely we have to be in that very strong in the technological nuances, and have first once when you are very strong in technology nuances, then only we can apply. So finance is the application field. So financial literacy is also very much essential, but unfortunately many places, many countries across the world have a lot of finance professionals are there, but they may not have the in-depth knowledge or understanding in the field of finance. That is how a lot of episodes, the unforgettable episodes happened, incidents happened. I used to call it as disasters, man-made disasters happened. The dot-com crisis, then world financial crisis, global financial meltdown happened in 2008. It all the classical example of the necessity of getting into the nuances of the field of finance as well as the behavior side of the person also. So from that perspective, though the technological developments are rampant, are we at it? Are we able to get into that by following all ethicalities and all? So it all the need are there. Thereby we can apply the technology in the right manner, in the right way, in the right perspective. Thereby it will not tilt the information. It will give right information for the investors. Thereby they will be able to make a decision. Similarly, financial functionaries also, they must know all the aspects of finance. So that's why financial literacy is also equally important. With the half-baked knowledge in the field of finance, when we started investing, definitely our exercise will be a fatal exercise. So in order to avoid that, we have to have an in-depth financial nuances. Thereby we will be able to make all financial decisions in a very effective manner. Because with the hard earn, getting a job is very difficult, employment. Then what for employment? To earn income. Then what for, with that earning, what we are going to do? We are able to save. Then having made a savings, what we are going to do? We have to make investment. Why we have to make investment? To get a return, reasonable return. Again, while getting, with the anticipation of getting return when you are making investment, definitely we will come across risk also. And we have to have the capability of managing the risk. Otherwise, we will be miserably failed in our attempt. So while making investment, definitely every investor will have a kind of greedy mindset. That greedy mindset, altruistic approach, it all has created a big havoc. That is why I used to call it as a man-made disaster, which has created a big holocaust across the world. Still, India is facing the heat of the problem. So to that extent, the skills, right skill, behavioral skills in the field of finance with the technology support, if it is not imparted properly to the younger generation, especially the Gen Z, definitely we will be in turmoil. So again, the generation Z investors are very cute and they are able to have a gel with the technological development as well as the nuances of the finance also. And they have an inclination to the long-term goals also, not necessarily comparing to millionaires and baby boomers and all. So we are very particular about our earnings returns only, which has created a kind of greedy mindset. So as Warren Faber has rightly pointed out, so we have to have cool play whenever people are having a greedy mindset. When people are with a greedy mindset, we have to come and cool. When others are come and cool, we can be greedy. But there is a limit for everything. When it goes beyond a limit, definitely havoc will happen. To avoid that, definitely ministry has created a kind of holistic approach to address the criticality in the digital financial literacy as well as behavioral skill. Thereby, definitely the Gen Z investors will be the great enablers, and which in turn helps a lot to promote the investors' education in a right perspective, and their interest will also be protected. So, having seen the significance and importance of the theme of the discussion, once again I extend my hearty thanks on behalf of the School of Management as well as Pondicherry University to Mahabhadra. On his own, he has come and wanted to deliberate by providing all supports. Definitely, his knowledge and experience and exposure should be transformed to our younger generation also. With that spirit, I extend my warm greetings to make the conference a grand success. Thank you, Nadal, for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'll now request IEPF Chair Professor Dr. C.S. Mahapatra to please come and share a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Honorable VC, Professor Prakash Babu, Professor Balakrishnan, Professor Natarajan, and Professor Venkat, good friend, and Mr. Samudraya and Tirthankar there, the Dean, Deputy Dean, and esteemed other professors and students. I do not talk in the inaugural session, and there was never a special address from my side in the last 3 years. This is the first time I have started speaking before the discussion, before the real topic starts, and this address is not about the topic. This is just to thank all of you to be here. Special thanks to Professor Prakash Babu. He's such a scientific tempered person. I had met him on Saturday. I was totally impressed by his precision and his aptitude towards knowledge sharing and knowledge gaining. So also the rest of the people on the dais. I am absolutely privileged to be with you all. And I also thank the entire Pondicherry University, the ambience, the hosting has been highly pleasurable for me, and I see a lot of interest in the students on this topic. Just two things I will say, that please go on thinking about the title of the topic. What exactly is meant by the title of the topic? What is digital financial literacy? And am I a financially literate person? Am I a digitally financially literate person? How many in my family, in my community are digitally financially literate? Please remember that with digitalization, a lot of benefits have been achieved, but what are the risks that we have got for ourselves? Number one. The second thing that you should think when we start our discussion in the afternoon, that if we are financially literate, are we taking care of our financial well-being to the maximum? Are our parents taking care of our financial well-being to the maximum? Or we are lacking some sense or the other? If we are all literate, then why are such scams and frauds are happening? And Gen Zs, wherever I go, whichever university I go, think they know it all, but it will be surprising for you when we discuss that there are many things that you people do not know. You do not know the risks which you take. You do not know the area which you are entering, and there is so much of a need to know more and more. And today you have all the information in your mobile phone, but reels are better to be seen than all those websites. Nobody is going to tell you anything more than that is available in the websites and in the advices. People I have seen in rural areas and urban areas think that this much knowledge is enough. No, I myself consider today standing here, I do not know what type of new scam and fraud is happening in this country, around the globe, and how it is going to be met. This is not only a question of individuals, not only a question of the family concern, whoever is earning, but also a question of educational institutions, of the government, of the regulators, and the first line regulators like the stock exchanges. We have a speaker from the stock exchange. Everybody is trying to educate people financially. Are they doing it in the best way possible, unified way possible, integrated way possible? And is the quality making us, the new Gen Z investors, a sustainable investor? Are we not afraid of things when we enter into the markets? Is it the right time, right point to invest in areas other than capital market? What does financial market mean? Is it only shares and dividends and capital market? Or is it something else? If it is something else, what it is? If it includes pension and insurance, are we aware that we need to have insurance the moment we start earning? Or do we think that we should do it at a much later point of time because pensioners are old, so pension is an old issue, old man's issue, old man's concern. Is it right? To the ladies I would ask, do they think that managing finance is not their cup of tea? If they think so, are they doing the right thing? So these are the right questions to ponder. Thank you very much. We have already ate up a lot of your time. And the only one good news I would give is when my turn comes, we will finish it on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now one of the most important address, we'll welcome Professor P. Prakash Babu, Vice Chancellor, Pondicherry University, to do the honor of inaugurating the session with his enlightening words.
Guests on the dais, Dr. C.S. Mahapatra, IEPF Chair Professor, my colleagues, Professor Natarajan, Director, Professor Balakrishnan, Head of the Department, Professor Venkatrao, Deans, Students' Welfare, and colleagues sitting off the dais. And the today's panel discussion panelists, Lieutenant Colonel Aditya Sinha, Dr. Tirthankar Patnaik, Professor Amaresh Samantraya, and of course some of my colleagues, Professor Natarajan, and also the chair professors, Professor Dr. Mahapatra is here. Dear students and ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and privilege to be part of this one. As Dr. Mahapatra rightly said, he visited me on Saturday. I told him, I am very bad at managing the finance. So why you are inviting me? So what he said, then you are a right person to come here to know, to understand what it is happening. Then I said, I think that many of my colleagues also should know. So what is happening, because now the technology is improving, and also fraudulents also learning the technology, how to address that. So we are in this era. So it's a privilege for me to address this distinguished gathering on the topic that it is becoming increasingly central to the financial markets. The critical role of the digital financial literacy and also the behavioral skills in strengthening the investor education and the protection is the title of this today's workshop. We are living in an era where investing has become remarkably accessible with just a smartphone and an internet connection. Individuals can open investment accounts, trade securities, invest mutual funds, and purchase insurances, and even participate in the sophisticated financial products. Technology has democratized access to the financial markets in a way that were unimaginably just a decade ago. When the government was insisting we have to use maybe during Corona, to use the online financing and also online transactions and all. So especially after the post currency was not available, demonetization, everyone was opposing. Everyone was opposing why these things happened, that thing happened and all. So now everyone is feeling very happy that they are not taking, now many of us, including me, I am not taking my money purse along with me. If my mobile is there, I can go anywhere and I can do anything. So that is the technology has been advancing. However, this unprecedented access has also brought the unprecedented responsibilities. The same digital platforms that empower investors can also expose them to a misinformation, fraud, impulsive decision making, and also complex financial products that may not align with their goals or task appetite. Therefore, the challenge before us is no longer simply expanding the financial inclusion. It is ensuring that financial inclusion is accompanied by information participation and also effective investor participation. Today, investor education must go beyond explaining the financial products. It must prepare investors to navigate an increasingly digital ecosystem while making sound behavioral decisions. The digital transformation of investing, the digital innovation has transformed every aspect of the investment journey. Investors receive real-time market information, execute transactions instantaneously, access algorithm-based investors' advice, and interact with the financial influencers across multiple social media platforms. Artificial intelligence, mobile applications, digital payment systems, and online investment platforms have dramatically lowered the entry barriers. Yet convenience, it creates an illusion of the simplicity. Many investors equate ease and execution with ease of investing. Clicking a buy button may take only seconds, but making an informed investment decision requires knowledge, discipline, and the critical thinking. In today's digital economy, financial literacy is no longer optional. It has become an essential life skills. Beyond financial literacy, the need for the digital financial literacy. Financial literacy is different and the digital financial literacy is different, but now we are in the era of the defining both differently. Traditional financial literacy focused on the concepts such as the budgeting, savings, diversification, inflation, and the risk-return relationships. Digital financial literacy expands this foundation by equipping investors to safely and confidently engage with the digital financial services. It includes evaluate online financial information critically, identify fraudulent investment schemes and pushing attempts, verify authenticity of the digital platforms, understand digital privacy and the cybersecurity risks, protect personal financial information, and distinguish credibility financial advice from misleading online contents. Digital literacy is not merely about the using technology, it's also using the technology wisely. As cyber frauds become more sophisticated and misinformation aspects spread very rapidly through the social media, investors' protection increasingly depends on investors' ability to question, verify, and evaluate before acting. Behavioral skills is the missing dimension here. While financial knowledge is essential, experience consistently demonstrates that knowledge alone does not guarantee good financial decisions. Behavioral economics has shown us that investors are influenced not only by the facts but also by emotions, cognitive based bias, and also the social influences. Investors often buy during market euphoria and sell during the market panic. They may chase the recent windows, follow unverified investment trips, exhibit overconfidence after short-term gains, or hesitate to book losses due to emotional attachment. In today's digital environment, these behavioral tendencies are amplified. Constant market notification, instant news updates, social media influences, fear of missing out, and online communities create an environment where emotional decision making can easily replace rational investing. Therefore, behavioral skills deserves equal attention in investor education. Investors needs to cultivate patience over the impulsiveness, discipline over speculation, critical thinking over hard behavior, long-term planning over short-term excitement, and resilience during period of the market volatility. The most valuable investment skill may not be predicting the markets. It may simply be managing the one's own behavior. Investor protection in the digital age today extends the beyond regulatory safeguards. Regulators play a critical role through disclosure requirements, market surveillance, grievance redressal mechanism, cyber security standards, and the enforcement activities. Financial institutions contribute by ensuring the transparent communication, responsible product design, and ethical business practice. Technology companies enhance security through the authentication protocols, fraud detective systems, and secure the digital infrastructure. Educational institutions nurture the financial capability from an early age. The media promotes the responsible financial communication. Families encourage the healthy financial habits. Ultimately, investor protection is shared responsibly among the regulators, institutions, educators, industry, and the investors themselves. The strong ecosystem becomes the more resilient over the financial markets will be. Building trust through the investor education. Effective investor education is not simply about the increasing awareness. It is about the building confidence and the trust. Educational institutions initiatives should move beyond one-time awareness campaigns towards the continuous engagement throughout an investor's financial journey. Different investor groups require different approaches. Young investors entertaining the financial markets for the first time needs a guarantee on financial fundamentals, risk management, and the long-term investment. Senior citizens require support by identifying digital frauds and protecting their retirement savings. Women investors may benefit from targeted initiatives that strengthen financial confidence and the participation. Rural and first-generation investors require accessible, multilingual educational resources suited to their specific needs. Digital technology itself offers powerful opportunities for investor education. Interactive mobile applications, short-term educational videos, multilingual digital content, gamified learning experiences, virtual investor awareness sessions, and AI-enabled educational tools can significantly expand the outreach with making the learning engaging and also the accessibility. The strengthening of the behavior through the design is an important lesson from behavioral science is that good decisions can be often be encouraged through the thoughtful system design. Simple inventions can make the meaningful difference. Clear risk disclosure written in plain language, cooling off period before high-risk investments, timely reminders about long-term financial goals, fraud alerts during suspicious transactions, educational prompts integrated into investment platforms, easy to buy, understand visual explanations of the risk and the returns. These seemingly small measures can significantly improve investor decision making while preserving the investor's choice. Investor protection is strongest when systems are designed not merely to facilitate transaction but also to support the informed decisions. Preparing investors for the future, the financial ecosystem continues to evolve rapidly. Artificial intelligence, digital advisory services, tokenized assets, algorithm investing, and also emerging financial technologies will continue to reshape investment practice. Future investors will require new competitors. They will need not only financial knowledge but also digital awareness, data literacy, cyber security consciousness, ethical understanding of AI-enabled financial advice, and strong behavioral discipline. Our educational frameworks must evolve accordingly. Investor education should become lifelong learning rather than a one-time investing. Conclusions, ladies and gentlemen, technology will continue to transform financial markets. Innovation will continue to create new opportunities. Regulations will continue to evolve, but one constant will remain, that is, An informed investor is the strongest foundation of a fair, resilient, and trustworthy financial system. Digital financial literacy empowers the investors to navigate technology safely. Behavioral skills empower them to make wise decisions despite uncertainty and emotion. Together, these create informed, confident, and resilient investors who contribute not only to their own financial well being but also to the stability and the integrity of our financial markets. As we deliberate during this workshop, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to the creating an ecosystem where every investor has not only access to the financial opportunities but the knowledge, confidence, and behavioral capability to make the informed choices. Because true investor protection begins long before a complaint is filed. It begins with the education, awareness, sound judgment, and responsible decision making. Thank you for your kind attention and inviting me for this such a wonderful workshop. Though I could not continue to stay back here, but definitely I will follow up and I will also have to learn a lot of things on the managing the financial literacy and also the digital managing. So I wish these deliberations will be great successful and I look forward the insightful discussions and deliberations. So thank you for inviting me, making me part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We have Ms. Anita Shah Akela, CEO, IEPFA, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, joining us virtually for the keynote address. We welcome you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all the distinguished faculty members, guests, and students. As someone who's really involved in the operational functioning of the Investor Education Protection Fund Authority, I would like to focus on a very practical question, which is what prevents an investor from acting even when he has the information and the digital services at his beck and call. Today, as investors, you can open accounts, purchase securities, access financial information through mobile applications in minutes, which all of you must be doing. A lot of you would be definitely opening your bank account, doing your UPI transaction, payments, payment of your college fees, etc. All of that is much in your hand. However, the ability to operate an application does not necessarily mean that you can assess the risk of a financial product or verify the genuineness of the intermediary, identify a fake investment application or even a phishing link, and in fact protect your personal financial credentials or understand where and how to raise a grievance, how to go about this entire process. So digital financial literacy, in fact, should go beyond the use of just technology. Just because it is digital, it is not just technology. It is also to be enable you to use the digital platforms very safely, critically, confidently. At the same time, you have to maintain the confidentiality of your own financial data. What we learn, in fact, when we are processing investor claims, we learn from these. I just thought I'll just share it with you. And a lot of you would also be having shares and shares of your grandparents, etc., or some physical shares which would be lying somewhere in some stored up attic, some box or something, and it would be honestly turn out to be a lot of money. I'll explain it to you how. In IPF, in fact, we regularly see that the legitimate claimants are facing difficulties not because they don't own the assets. All these assets, I mean, IPFA has probably around um, more than a lakh crore worth uh, shares which are available with us. For us, they are of no value, but then they are a lot of value to the claimant, to the person who actually own them. Now, what happens in IPFA is that when you have not claimed your dividends because of transfer of your residence or the KYC was not updated or you closed a bank account or you forgot to earlier in the earlier days you would get a check which was posted, so maybe it was a 5 rupee check or a 10 rupee check. So who's going to take a 20 rupee auto to go and deposit a 5 rupee check or a 10 rupee check? So people would just leave it to the in the corner of the house. So what happens with that is that when 7 years are crossed and you have not claimed this dividend amount, that dividend goes into the consolidated. It goes into a public account named as the Investor Education Protection Fund account, and the underlying shares also come to IPFA. So you are not able to trade those shares. Those could be physical, those could be demat. So IPFA in IPFA you come and you claim your shares. There is a process which is laid down. It's available on our website ipf.gov.in. So you can come and claim those shares, and based on certain processes we return it to you. But then we've seen a lot of issues that claimants have faced, and one of the thing is that the legitimate channels, legitimate claimants are facing difficulties because of various things. Their records have not been updated, the nominations are missing, the documents may be lost, or the legal heirs like you people may be unaware that such investment can even be brought back into a working asset rather than lying idle. And the claim process also requires the investors to navigate different systems, give the same kind of information across various spectrum. In the month of October 1995, 2025, the Honorable FM had started Aapki Punji Aapka Adhikar campaign throughout all the asset class. That is your investments, that is shares, then it could be insurance claims, it could be your mutual funds, or it could be your bank deposit. So here we notice that people have not updated their nomination form, or they find it very complex, so they are not aware how to go about this. So, and every procedural step has become a point, where you as a claimant, your God is too much of a headache. I don't want to do so much of work for this simple amount of money. And that is why for us it was important that we simplify the processes, looking at the investors' viewpoint as well as the objective. And we in IPFA have been working very hard, I must say, to make the claim processing integrated, transparent, and citizen friendly. We have integrated different systems, reduced repetitive data entry. We simplified the form so that but then all this is for our internal working. The investor needs to give certain documentation, and we are trying to look at a centralized KYC across all the asset classes so that the updation of the KYC becomes an easy process. Then there are behavioral risks that are there in the digital environment. The operational experience shows that there is investor vulnerability which is linked to behavior. But what happens is that you may follow social media trend or follow social media influencers without verifying them. Invest because a friend or an influencer is probably promoting a product. कि फलाना जगह पे you please come and take a land. I am a celebrity who is promoting this, so you trust me and um, you end up investing. And then some of them become very overconfident. Some of you would be having those apps also, or the WhatsApp chats, Telegram chats, which tell you कि आप इसमें invest करिए and your money is going to go up like anything. And you see 2 3 times it does go up, and after that it starts making a loss, and the app starts conning you. Then you are also acting under fear of missing out. Oh, my friend is earning so much money in the market, I should also do it. And then a lot of times we get a lot of messages which appear to be so real. Okay, you click on this link and then you end up clicking the APK link, and then entire data in our mobile phone goes out, and it becomes vulnerable, and it also puts the vulnerability patch in your system. And the fraudsters, in fact, deliberately create an urgency, emotional pressure on you, and expectations such as, it's a limited time opportunity, guaranteed return. If you don't do it today, then you're going to end up missing it for a long time, etc. Therefore, it is important that you, as a digital investor, should always have one important habit: pause, verify, and then act. Always read the what do I say, finer print. That is where is the most important part of the thing which is written, which we are not aware. We many a time look at the flashy big words there, and we just forget about the fine print. I urge you to always read fine print before you invest. And therefore, financial literacy that you have, what is going to happen in the program today, or what you must develop over time, is that there should be always a financial discipline because of it. The knowledge alone cannot protect an investor till it is translated into behavior. And you, as a responsible investor, should verify the registration and credentials of intermediaries, understand the relationship very clearly between the risk and the return, avoid sharing. Do not share, not just avoid, do not share your OTPs, password, and confidential information. Maintain an updated KYC, bank, and nomination details. Keep a consolidated record of all your investment, your family investments in one place. Inform your trusted family members about whatever are your important financial assets, and whatever suspicious schemes, suspicious activities that you see, you should inform through the appropriate grievance mechanism. Every regulator has a grievance mechanism. Otherwise, there's always CP grants, PMO portal, and then there is also SEBI has scores. We in IEPFA, we always ask, there's a suspicious link that you can, there's a link which allows you to report suspicious activities or links on the website. Now, what do we do as for investor facilitation is the next part of my talk. We have initiatives such as Niveshak Shivir, where the company, the registrar and transfer agents, depositories, and the government officials, that is us, we all are at one location. Currently, our office is situated only in Delhi. But we would be moving to different locations through this Niveshak Shivir, where it becomes a one-stop shop for everybody to update their nomination details, update their KYC, as well as find out whatever issues are there in the IPFA claim that they would have made. And these programs, in fact, do more than create awareness. They help resolve the documentation issues, update the records, and understand the status of their claim. Similarly, we've got Niveshak Didi, which is for the citizens. It is a initiative for women, by women. And basically, what we are looking at is educating the rural women who have been benefited by a lot of schemes of the government but do not know where to put in their money, how to put in their money, how to keep their money safe. So this is where we come into picture. Now, message for young investors like you who are entering the financial market. Uh, the mobile applications have made your life very easy. You just open a Zerodha app, there is hardly anything. DigiLocker says sign up kar diya and you get all the information. But then, ease of access should not result in an impulsive decision making. Before investing, you should ask, do I understand what is on offer? Is the platform regulated? What could be the possible loss? What is the risk that I'm willing to take? Am I acting on verified information or just an excitement caused by social media? Am I investing in a financial goal or am I following a trend? So, financial confidence alone does not require you to take more risk. You need to understand the risk and make an informed decision. So, to conclude, I would like to say that investor protection is a shared responsibility. Institutions like us must simplify the system, provide assistance. Companies must maintain effective communication with the shareholders. Investors like you must keep their records updated, exercise caution in a digital environment. At IPFA, our operational objective is to ensure that the citizens are not prevented from accessing their rightful financial access because of the procedural complexity, lack of awareness, or digital hesitation. Let us therefore work towards an ecosystem in which every investor is not only digitally connected but also digitally secure, behaviorally disciplined, and confident in exercising his financial rights. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be here. Since the parliament is in session, it was not possible for me to leave headquarters. Otherwise, it is a really missed opportunity. I would have loved to be there. Thank you so much and wish you all the very best for your